But then when you have your own kids, or when you're expecting your own kids, that's when it really hits you. And I remember one of these years I choked up on stage. I would want to take, but if I have to do that, then I will ensure, as I have done previously, and I will continue to make sure.
Decades.
Thank you for showing us the light when all too often darkness can consume us.
Oh, honey, can you imagine this? Picture it. Harry flies across the Atlantic, yes, 5,000 whole miles, thinking this is going to be the conversation that could flip his entire royal story around. He struts through the gates of Clarence House, that swanky residence dripping with history and exclusivity, ready to finally get his moment. And then, bam! Just 55 minutes later, he's right back in the car, driving off, looking like someone who ordered a 5-course meal and got served a single breadstick. Nothing resolved, nothing gained. And trust me, the ripple effects? Social media hasn't stopped buzzing. The photos from that September afternoon are making royal watchers gasp like this was some historical turning point.
The stories were not out there. You lying fool. You know, William's a...
And darling, they're saying this wasn't just tea and biscuits. Oh no. People are whispering that what unfolded in those 55 minutes could actually reshape everything we thought we knew about royal family politics. Forget a sweet family reunion. This smelled way more like chess moves and strategy than a cozy father-son catch-up.
Sir, morning.
So you're all working incredibly hard.
Bring back Harry, please. Sir.
Think about it. Flying all that way, dressing up for tea at Clarence House, imagining maybe this is a reset button.
The family's castle in Scotland. But he did it. He made...
And instead, walking out with nothing but the memory of a lukewarm teacup. That's it. No closure, no real warmth, just vibes of disappointment. You only have to look at those side-by-side photos from that day. Harry looked tense, worried even, as he stepped out. The internet saw it and pounced. According to reports, this was Harry's first sit-down with his father in over a year. That's huge. But ever since he abandoned royal duties, his access has been slowly stripped away. And you know what people are saying? That this visit wasn't just about family. It was Harry fighting to claw some of that insider access back.
Individual. The stories were not out there. You lying fool. You know, William's a bull.
And babe, let's talk about the timing. A so-called royal peace talk that barely lasted 55 minutes? Scratch that. It may have been less than 20 minutes of actual private conversation. Can you believe? People online are tearing this apart, calling it less of a summit and more like a speed date gone horribly wrong. The memes are brutal. Harry came for the crown but left with crumbs. Ouch.
The family's castle in Scotland. But he did it. He made time.
And let's not forget, William was just miles away. 7 to be exact. That close, and still wouldn't meet his brother. Oh, the drama. It's like watching a soap opera where the two main characters refuse to even share the same screen. But honestly, the real headline wasn't the brothers' distance. It was that Harry left Clarence House empty-handed. Reports say he came begging for recognition, financial support, security, even legal help, and left with nada. Total PR nightmare. Everyone knows once William takes that crown, the door slams shut for Harry, and maybe, just maybe, Charles made sure to remind him of that.
Recent weeks I have been most deeply touched by your wonderfully kind and thoughtful good wishes for my health.
So here's the juicy question. Was this Charles quietly shutting the door on Harry's last chance at reconciliation? Or was Harry the one who walked into a carefully staged royal trap? Because make no mistake, this wasn't family tea. It was royal strategy on full display. No hugs, no warmth, just polished professionalism. Sources said Clarence House didn't feel like a home that day. It felt like a boardroom. The atmosphere was unreal. Security locked down the gates, cameras were shielded, staff moved around like they were in a spy movie, knowing something serious was about to happen. And then tick-tock, 55 minutes later, it's over. Reports say Charles and Harry had only about 20 minutes alone. The rest? Protocol, security checks, awkward waiting around. Like, imagine flying across the world just to be treated like a dignitary at a press appointment. Commentators online compared it to standing in line at a government office, except this one had fancier wallpaper. And then, just when Harry thought maybe this was about to turn personal, boom! In walks Queen Camilla. Yes, she was there. And her presence? It shifted the entire mood. For Harry, who's been very open about his issues with Camilla in the past, this was like turning up for dinner with dad and finding out your boss is also at the table. She was running the show, making the vibe even colder, and people online didn't miss a beat. They pointed out that Harry probably expected a heartfelt father-son talk, but instead got hit with the royal power couple in action. And here's the kicker. No official palace photos, no smiling statements, not even a polite press release. Nothing. total silence, which only made the whole thing feel more formal and more Yes, people online are saying it felt less like a reunion and more like Harry was pitching his dad on an episode of Shark Tank. Dad, I need cash, security, and oh, by the way, can you also cover these mounting legal costs? The internet is savage. They were cracking jokes left and right, calling it a royal shopping spree gone wrong. And let's not ignore the obvious. Harry and Meghan are facing some serious struggles. Meghan's lifestyle jam brand, a flop. Her second season of that cooking show, disappointing. Their once glam deals are showing cracks. And into that pressure cooker, Harry throws in another hot button demand, titles for the kids. Oh yes, that's right. Some saw it as Harry fighting for his family's recognition. Others were like, excuse me, is this about love or labels? Add in security requests and legal coverage, and suddenly you're looking at a royal wish list so long it could make Santa roll his eyes. And honey, the vibe at that meeting? Urgent. Not humble, not emotional. Urgent. Like turning up at a family dinner and asking for Wi-Fi, cash, and the car keys before dessert. The public couldn't handle it. One viral post compared it to handing Santa a catalog and demanding every single toy. The memes? Out of control. And here's the wildest rumor. Meghan reportedly wanted to be treated as an HR issue. Yes, you heard that right. The suggestion was that palace staff should bow and curtsy to her, as if that was ever going to happen. Honestly, people online laughed like it was the plot of a parody sketch. But let's talk about Charles's reaction, because this is the part that has everyone clutching their pearls. How did the king respond to Harry's royal shopping list? With silence. A silence so icy it could freeze the fountains at Buckingham Palace. Reports say his tone was calm, measured, and unyielding. No shouting, no debate, nothing dramatic, just protocol, pure and simple. People described it like a teacher marking an exam and quietly shaking their head. And the real kicker? Trust, or rather the lack of it. Insiders whisper that Charles doesn't trust Harry at all anymore. And if that's true, then every request was destined to hit a brick wall. Public opinion was merciless. They framed Charles's response as the ultimate royal power move. No drama, no emotion, just a wall of stone. Online, people joked it was like trying to return an item at a shop only to be told, sorry, no refunds, no exchanges. Policy is policy. And with Camilla sitting right there, oh honey, the whole thing shifted from father-son chat to CEO boardroom showdown. With Camilla present, Charles was less dad in the living room and more CEO of the Crown Incorporated. And you know what? That symbolism wasn't lost on anyone. The memes were brutal. They painted Charles as this immovable granite wall, while poor Harry looked like a guy tossing tennis balls against it, desperately hoping something, anything, might bounce back. But here's the thing, Harry wasn't finished. Not by a long shot. Even after hitting that royal wall, his reaction kept the drama alive. When it was over, the scene outside Clarence's house became the real headline. Harry walked out fast, like, meeting adjourned, nothing to see here. No smiles, no hugs, no waves, no father-son warmth, just a quick, cold exit. Observers said it felt more like a fire drill than a family reunion. And the internet? They lost it. Memes compared it to leaving a group project after doing all the work and still getting no credit. The math of it was savage. Less than 20 minutes of private talk, zero progress, no goodbyes. Online, it got dubbed the shortest royal comeback tour in history. And if you look at the photos, oh, they tell the story perfectly. Charles, composed, regal, not a hair out of place. Harry, looking tense, almost troubled, like he'd just been chewed up in a very polite but very icy conversation. And while Harry's been on this massive charm offensive, sword fighting with kids, doing charity appearances, smiling for cameras, the optics of Clarence's house told another story. Charles looked steady, Harry looked desperate, and the fallout didn't stop there. Because once Harry left empty-handed, the media spin machine went wild. And oh my goodness, once Harry walked out of Clarence's house without a single crumb of success, the spin began instantly. The palace? Silent as a locked vault. But the media? Darling, they were screaming louder than a fire alarm. Within hours, glossy headlines were painting the tea as a positive step, calling it progress, whispering reconciliation, and hinting that maybe the ice had been broken. But online? Oh, the crowd wasn't buying it for a second. People were mocking the narrative with brutal sarcasm. If that was reconciliation, then my last awkward Zoom call was a peace treaty. One viral meme compared Harry's tea with Charles to a dentist appointment. Except, you know, at least at the dentist you leave with a free toothbrush. Another one nailed it perfectly. Poof! The meeting happened, but the results? Disappeared like a magician's trick. And here's the genius part. Whether planned or not, Charles's silence turned into a PR masterstroke. He didn't have to say a single word. The lack of smiles, the lack of official photos, the stiff exit, it all spoke volumes. Meanwhile, Harry was left looking like the lone player in a game where the referee doesn't even bother blowing the whistle. Critics hammered the optics. Charles came off as the steady monarch, calm and authoritative. Harry, on the other hand, looked like the awkward relative left hanging after a family barbecue squabble. But the ripple didn't stop at him. No, honey. When Harry walked out empty-handed, the waves splashed all over Meghan too. Because here's the brutal truth. Big money deals like Netflix and Spotify, they thrive on one thing: access. Without those fresh royal connections, the Sussex storyline risks going stale. Think about it. A reality show without drama, it's like watching Survivor where everyone just politely shares coconuts. And that's the fear. No palace, no plot. Commentators were quick to point out that Meghan now faces serious pressure. Without juicy royal twists, she may have to conjure up new headlines to keep their brand alive. Interviews, staged photo ops, calculated releases. The internet joked, "No palace?" No Party One viral comment compared their content deals to a reality show without a villain. People lose interest fast, and if that wasn't enough, there's the looming brand damage. Every request Charles declines, every professional handshake instead of a family hug, it chips away at the Sussexes' royal insider sparkle. The irony, Harry's desperate attempt to get back in might have only pushed him further out. Commentators summed it up with a warning. Once the royal connection fades, they're not selling a fairy tale anymore. They're selling reruns. But wait, the plot thickens even more. Because behind all this gossip is the one thing nobody can escape: the legacy factor. Charles knew exactly what he was doing. This wasn't just a chilly tea meeting. It was the monarchy reminding Harry that it plays the long game. Insiders described it like a chess match. Harry rushed in, making bold moves, rattling off demands like a player on the clock. Charles, on the other hand, barely moved but still kept the board under control. Calm, composed, centuries of strategy behind him. One viral post nailed the sentiment: Harry, you can't outmaneuver an institution that's been perfecting strategy for centuries. And honestly, that line says it all. Because this wasn't about tea. It was about power. It was about survival. And it was about who controls the narrative. Charles chose silence. Harry chose urgency. And the world chose sides. The world